Did ALLDAY Project's Bailey shade Tarzzan? But why is baby monster Ahyeon receiving hate again? Yunjin styling, plagiarism, and so much more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And if your landlord saw that you had a friend over who also used to be her tenant that she bullied out of a home and then sent you an intimidating email saying he's not allowed on her property being the house that you rent, then I hope you have an extra amazing day. I literally wish I was exaggerating about this. What is going on with ALLDAY Project? To understand that, we need a little bit of a backstory. So, Quartus' Kono was recently under fire because of this hanbok photo shoot that he did where his pants are sagging and we can see his undergarments. From there, a fan actually told Tarzzan, I suddenly got curious about what it'd be like if Tarzzan wore a sagged hanbok. And he responded, hey, there's a time and place for that. Even I wouldn't sag a hanbok. There are pants that look cool sagged and some that don't. So with this, there was a lot of backlash. Some people saying that it was hypocritical of him to say something like that. Some even implying he was shading Quartus' Kono with this comment. So of course, a ton of people were discussing this. And someone posted this TikTok. So they're just basically implying that he was shading Kono with the comment. Later on, the same user was alleging that Bailey had actually liked the TikTok, which sparked even more conversation, with people thinking there's discord within the group, some people saying she doesn't really like him. And this has been a conversation for a while now. A lot of people saying that the group don't get along because of Tarzzan's actions. Of course, he's been accused of cultural appropriation from the beginning. But let me know what you think of this situation. Do you think it's a case of someone accidentally liking something, which is very easy to do? Or do you think it was intentional? I've shared plenty of stories of how I've accidentally commented something on TikTok because for whatever reason, if you just press a little too long, suddenly emojis pop up. And if you accidentally press it, you comment something inappropriate on a very serious TikTok, like heart eye emojis on somebody like mourning someone. It's mortifying. And sometimes these sound like unbelievable stories. Like, yeah, sure, that happened to you. No, literally, a fly landed on my printer once and printed a calendar. So for me, I definitely understand when this stuff happens, but you never know. Everyone and their mothers recently have been covering songs from K-pop demon hunters, most notably Golden. Golden seems to be a fan favorite, with everyone showing off their own unique ways of singing it, because it is a very difficult song. It's really high up. So high, in fact, people even noticed that when the original singers, EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Ami performed it on the Jimmy Fallon show, they sang it a little bit lower. Some people are going to bring up the fact that EJ seemingly had bronchitis. Regardless, it seems the song is very hard to sing. And recently, BABYMONSTER's Ahyeon sang it. Let's listen. So while a lot of fans love her voice and have been praising her for this cover, it has been receiving a ton of backlash. So as we can see, this has reached 7.5 million views. And unfortunately, all the top comments aren't the nicest. There are some people saying that she's singing out of tune, that she has the talent for it, but just needs to refine it a little. Others saying that she's screaming, which has been a criticism for a while now. But there are a lot of fans who think that she's being unfairly targeted. I don't know if you guys remember, when BABYMONSTER initially debuted, she received a lot of hate for quote-unquote over-dancing. And then she received hate for underdancing. She got hate for quote-unquote screaming. But let me know, what do you think of this rendition of Golden? Who even is this? So the Sserafim, of course, are having a comeback soon with Spaghetti, and a lot of fans have been praising them for their very unique teaser photos, and of course, food themed. So in promoting the upcoming single, the Sserafim released this TikTok with Taewon popping out of the spaghetti, and Yunjin, of course, holding the spaghetti. But a lot of people were saying, this doesn't even look like Yunjin. Why do they look different? It's not Yunjin. Yunjin don't look like Yunjin. Yunjin is not Yunjin. Why? I thought she was Hyuna, but Yunjin looks so different. So a lot of comparisons that she looks like Hyuna. I even saw a viral tweet asking, what did the company do to her? Now, of course, this is just one look, but I'd love to know what you think of it. Personally, I love when idols step outside of the box. Actually, I just got a memory when the Sserafim did a specific photo shoot and some netizens were like, it doesn't look good. And I was like, you guys just don't like when people get experimental. Like, as soon as someone looks a little, not 100% in line with the beauty standard, it's like, whoa, no. That's boring. In my opinion, it's my opinion. I like when, and I'm not even saying she looks ugly. I do not think she looks ugly by any means. I'm just saying in general, actually, I'm not even saying this ever even really happened. I would love if idols could get a little ugly. Like, just get a little ugly. I know it's going to receive backlash, but I would love to just like an uglier concept. But what was that photo shoot that Liz from were getting backlash on? Because I feel like they weren't wearing a lot of makeup. I don't fully remember, but it's coming back to me a little bit. Recently, people have been discussing Blackpink's Rosé and the fact that she seems to mention Bruno Mars a lot. Now, of course, as we all know, they both released a song together called APT. Maybe you've heard of it before, I don't know. The song absolutely blew up. People think she's set to win a Grammy for it as well. But she recently did an interview with Vogue where she was asked, "Can you tell us a story about you and Bruno that no one else knows?" So then she reveals that before they filmed the music video for APT, they actually were fighting.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I had the biggest fight with Bruno right before the music video shoot.
And that they made up on set. Quote, "Oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Let's not fight, let's be friends."
But we made up on set, so it was alright. Oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Let's not fight. Let's be friends.
So this brought up an ongoing conversation that people have been having about her mentioning Bruno Mars. According to fans, too much. So there were some fans making a big deal about this, calling her obsessed, saying her entire identity is built around Bruno Mars. However, there's a lot of people who think this is a silly conversation, that they made a hit song together, that she was even asked in the interview to talk about Bruno Mars. But I made a short about it, so let's see what you guys had to say. They literally asked her to talk about Bruno Mars. She's made it clear she really admires Bruno as an artist, and at this point, it's safe to assume they are friends, so I don't know why this is a problem. No different, honestly, than her mentioning the other Pinks. I'm sorry, but she was literally asked about him. Like, do people want her to just say something about herself? Like, obviously, she is very proud of that song and working with him. Not gonna lie, the hate against Blackpink members nowadays genuinely feels so forced and twisted out of proportion. She was literally asked about Bruno Mars. Are we dead? Geez, they're friends. Let the poor girl live. They asked her about Bruno in the interview, WTF. God forbid artists talk about fellow artists they work with. God forbid idols talk about someone. And if she didn't talk about Bruno, they'd say she'd need to humble herself and say thank you, Bruno. She can't help that people are going to ask questions about him when he was very involved in the collab. People need to leave her alone. I think that is so true. If she didn't mention Bruno ever, people would be like, you know, that's really fishy. He was on the song with you. Why aren't you mentioning him? But the fact that she does mention him also brings backlash. Like, wow, like you're obsessed. So of course, again, let me know your thoughts about that. Do you think it's a silly conversation? Like, of course she's going to mention him. Or do you think it's too much? Let's move on to our plagiarism corner. Except today it's not fans saying that something might have been plagiarized. The artist herself has come out and said she has been plagiarized. Now, when it comes to plagiarism in K-pop, a lot of the time, whether there is merit to the claim or not, fans go in full defensive mode and try to protect the artist being accused as much as they can. And this is no exception. I've been seeing this go down on Twitter, and it's definitely been a lot. But let's start from the beginning. R.Tee released a song called Damdari featuring Soyeon of Idol. Now, while the song itself isn't being accused of plagiarism, the music video is. Fans started noticing that almost scene for scene was similar to Isolt's You Could Never. So Isolt updates posting, "That's insane. They literally stole the entire music video from Isolt. Black artists are not respected in this industry." So let's look at them side by side. So of course it looks very similar, right? Then the artist herself, Isolt, posted this. "Just saw this video, Damdari by R.Tee featuring Soyeon. It's a straight up copy of my music video, Bitch You Could Never. Director, label, artist, everyone involved, the least you could do is have the decency to credit your source. Shout out to my two incredible directors, Marita and Shadrinsky. You poured your soul into this project and created something timeless. To see it get copied like this is wild, but real artistry speaks louder than imitation. Thank you for creating this masterpiece with me. Love you endlessly. And to those trying to guilt trip me for speaking up, shame on you. Silencing Black women when their work is stolen has always been part of the problem, not this time. Stream Bitch You Could Never." And then she posted a picture that shows the credits, you know, R.Tee, Damdari featuring Soyeon of Idol, the production studio, the director, so on and so forth. So of course, as you can imagine, things got quite ugly. While a lot of people agreed that the music video looked pretty much the same, some people were arguing that Soyeon of Idol had nothing to do with this. You know, there were people saying, you know, she was only a feature on the song. She didn't even write the song. She had nothing to do with this. I need Neverland to boost this video. Soyeon said it clearly in the behind the scenes. "Since I didn't write this Damdari song, I just follow the direction and match the vibe they're going for. Soyeon did not contribute anything but her vocal in this song making, but it's Soyeon's responsibility. Did y'all expect her to recognize all different types of MVs now? Give it up. She's not responsible for it, and just admit y'all don't GAF about this issue. It's so obvious. And then other people saying, well, she's calling out everyone, you know? Director, label, artist, everyone involved. The least you could do is have the decency to credit your source. You know, she wasn't like saying, Soyeon, this is your fault. There are also people criticizing the way she was going about calling out the fact that her work was plagiarized. So the film director did end up releasing a statement basically acknowledging that he was inspired by Iseul. Statement from Achilles film director Hong Min-ho. It is true that I was inspired by Iseul's work and her directing style. I, Hong Min-ho, the director from Achilles film, have long admired Iseul and the directors she has worked with, and that admiration naturally inspired many of the visual ideas I developed during this project. However, I sincerely apologize that certain scenes were expressed in a way that directly resembled her original work, and I deeply regret any offense this may have caused her and her team. The concept and direction of the music video were fully under my responsibility, and artists Chun Soyeon and R.Tee had no involvement in choosing the creative direction or references. Both artists focused solely on the musical direction and were not informed in advance about the creative intentions behind the visuals or the specific references used. Moving forward, I will conduct more thorough research during the creative process and ensure that I clearly show respect for the original creators and artists who inspired me. So then Iseul also responded saying, I appreciate the words, but let's be honest, this conversation is about plagiarism, not inspiration. Let's not shift the narrative, give credit where it's due. Let's see what you guys had to say. I'm glad that Iseul was able to raise her voice to point out that it wasn't right to copy her art. I know that immediately afterward, the creator of the video clip apologized, but fans need to understand that Black culture is heavily used in songs, music, and music videos by K-pop artists. This is nothing new. What annoyed me the most on the internet, however, was the wave of hate just for making an observation. I think if we truly loved our idols, we would have just spoken the truth so they could apologize. And finally, I want to say that Soyeon isn't directly responsible since she's only featured, that's all. Crazy how K-pop has so many cases of plagiarism, LMAO. K-pop artists not beating the culture vulture allegations. I don't blame Iseul for blaming everyone involved because it is her work that was plagiarized and she couldn't have known who exactly was responsible since it does look bad on everyone's part. What is insane to me is how the first time I heard about it, it was because people were calling Soyeon a plagiarist and saying this is a consistent pattern for her. And I'm only just now finding out it wasn't even her music video. She was just a featured artist and people were acting like she directed every scene herself. Hello. The hate for this girl is so unwarranted, sometimes it's insane. I'm glad the director admitted fault and absolved the two artists of blame. Sigh, can't wait to see how nice K-pop stans are going to be when talking about Iseul. Personally, I don't blame an artist for tagging another artist involved because it gets the attention of that artist and makes it less likely to be ignored. If they only spoke of the director, they might not feel the pressure to correct it, but when they involve the artists are more likely to side with them and wish to make it right. Since it involves them, but is not to blame and is more willing to correct it. And people who use this just to attack the artist were going to twist it anyways. So I don't think it dramatically affects the artist involved, plus the director had to clarify it didn't involve the artist, so that tells me the pressure from the artist is what made the director acknowledge their mistake. It's unfortunate that you have to do these things for some accountability to be had, but that's just how the industry works. So of course, I would love to know what you think of the situation, and how would you react if you felt your work was plagiarized? And if you were an artist, maybe you had nothing to do with the music video, but if you were in a music video that was being accused of plagiarism, do you think you'd be mad if you were tagged, or would you want to rectify things? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Why are fans worried about the new 50/50? Fans have been worried about the old 50/50 for a while. I mean, the whole lawsuit, everything revealed in the lawsuit, accusations of mistreatment, so on and so forth. But now with only one original 50/50 member remaining and all new members joining, it seems that fans are now worried for member Hana, who is doing a performance and seems to be stumbling on stage and seems to be really struggling, as we can see in these clips. It seems like it's very difficult for her. This led to a lot of backlash from fans, some of who remember what happened to the old 50/50. Concerns have risen over a track after Hana from new 50/50 lineup appeared unwell during a recent performance with trembling hands and trouble maintaining balance. The incident has sparked comparisons to past accusations from former members. It's almost like the girls who were previously under this company spoke out about their experiences for this exact reason. I have thoughts about idols having heat strokes on stage and being allowed to continue performing in states where they are very obviously not okay, but people aren't going to listen to me because this is so effing normalized in K-pop. So this was apparently from July, and it seems that the company released a statement basically saying that she needs to recover, and so she didn't attend the fan sign of that day. Might be a hot take, but Hana shouldn't have been allowed to perform when she was clearly not doing well and needed rest, and the hiatus afterwards was bare minimum. The way people are showing genuine concern over a young girl who's clearly not okay, and her fans are seeing it as something negative and spewing hate around it. Some people are saying that she asked to perform, but of course, given K-pop as a whole, not even taking into account the allegations from former 50/50 members. Just given what we know about K-pop, of course, seeing someone struggle on stage is concerning. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let's move on to Kpop Shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news. There is a furry K-pop group. Yes, Basti. Basti, a 5-member boy group. You're not gonna guess what Basti stands for. Bastard teens in everywhere. This is the K-pop I signed, not the furry part. The name though. And Hypen's Jungwon did a live stream, and it seems he did it on his day off, and he asked fans to not wait in front of the company building. Seriously, don't wait. If you do, you are not an engine. I'm serious. You guys are always out there whenever I do a live broadcast. It's such a nuisance for the employees. Other fans don't come because they can't. They don't come because they're doing it out of respect for us. Fans have been discussing Chaewon and Kazuha's outfits, saying that they look a little too warm. It seems that Cat's Eye were referenced in a new Family Guy episode. As we can see, Daniela's gnarly outfit. Doechii released a light stick, and there's an alligator inside. Fans have been complaining that IVE's Kyle doesn't seem to have as many solo ads as the rest of the members. Twice's Mina has been receiving some backlash for her energy at a recent Twice concert. Fans have been discussing the views on Bam Bam's music video. It had 15 million views in 14 hours, which led people to talk about paid ads versus organic views. And then it seems that Islet changed their center from Wani, as we can see, to now Minju, who seems to be the center. So with that, I'm now going to share with you guys fun things that I thought were fun. Is that the name of this segment? Fun things that I thought were whatever. I thought this is just so funny. Obviously. So Twice's Mina from like whatever 2016, when did they debut? 2015, and now 2025, she learned that kindness is the real punk rock. SHINee's A Ring Ding Dong celebrated its 16th anniversary the other day, the same day that Dan and Phil revealed that they had been together for 16 years. So I never watched Dan and Phil, but I witnessed this yesterday. Happy anniversary to Ring Ding Dong. They seem to be very fantastic elastic. Dan and Phil revealing they've been together for 16 years on the same day as SHINee's Ring Ding Dong turning 16. What do I do with this information? Happy sweet 16 Ring Ding Dong. Ring 49 times. Ding 102 times. Dong 38 times. Diggy 34 times. Rocka 24 times. Fantastic 10 times. Elastic 10 times. We ringed. We dinged. And boy... did we dong. And then this tweet went viral. The older I get, the more I'm bothered by the fact that idols don't make their own music. It's like, who am I really standing? And some of these responses were really interesting. K-pop gets like 100 times more awesome when you start looking into the producers and the photographers and the stylists and the directors. And I really liked that comment because it's true. Stylists deserve their flowers too. All the other people involved really, I think about this all the time. Like, people are so focused on the face of it all, but there's so many people behind the scenes who deserve their flowers too. It's kind of like, and I've seen this happen time and time again. Let's say you go to like a business or something. I'm trying not to be specific about this. Like, you bypass the employees who helped make your experience great, and like you praise the CEO or you praise the owner of the business, and it's like the owner just sat back and probably mistreated them and underpaid them, and like you're praising them because like they're the face of the company. And like, what about the employees? Do you know what I mean? Just saying. I thought that comment, I really liked that quote too, because I'm like, yeah, find out who the photographers are, find out who the stylists are, who the directors are. You have room in your heart. You do. But yeah, I reckon that is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm hopefully gonna be okay. Hopefully, hopefully everything's gonna be okay. November will bring us better things, hopefully. But yeah, these are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And as for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.